Summit Pines. I wanted to talk to you today about the benefits of using a vacuum sealer and give you some ins and outs and some tips of using a vacuum sealer. But you may be asking yourself, why are we doing the intro for a vacuum sealer up here in the North Woods? Well, let me just say this. Take a look at this and tell me if I need to say anything else. Well, all good things must come to an end. So we had to leave the beautiful colors of the North Woods behind, at least momentarily, so that I could get back here and introduce you to the wonderful world of the vacuum sealer. Now, I'm going to show you some things in a minute. I have a vacuum sealer. I have a Food Saver vacuum sealer. And basically, I just wanted to mention first, before I show you how it works, is that by vacuum sealing your food, and that could be anything. That could be packages of beans, rice, boxes, crackers, meat, vegetables, your harvest, anything that you decide to vacuum seal, you're going to increase the shelf life, the freezer life of your products. In some cases, it turns some products indefinite shelf life. For instance, peas, beans, they come in these plastic bags. Now, the regular shelf life of these is actually pretty long. They say these can go on, put them in a shelf, keep it in a nice, cool, dry pantry or something. You're going to get 12 years out of this. They'll be perfectly fine in 12 years. If you vacuum seal these, it's indefinite. So basically what they're telling you is it will last forever. I won't last forever, but I know at least these will last a lot longer than I will. If it's frozen meat, if it's vegetables, earlier this year we did corn. We got a great sale on fresh corn, and I took and cleaned the cobs up, and I vacuum sealed, I think, 3 or 4 to a bag. And that's going to increase the freezer life by probably a couple of years. So if you have a vacuum sealer, great. If you don't have one, the prices range anywhere from about $80 to a couple $100, depending what you want out of your vacuum sealer. Some have more features than others. And also remember, Christmas is coming. Santa is still making a list, so you may want to get that list out if you would like a vacuum sealer. Now, one of the ongoing costs of a vacuum sealer are the bags. And the bags come all different ways. They come in rolls. Like this is a small roll. I forgot what size this was. 11 by something. But it's basically a long roll of plastic. And what you do when you get the rolls is you just seal one end. And then you can actually measure what you want to put in there, cut it, and then seal the other end. They also have larger rolls, which I'm going to show you. So they come in various sizes. I use these a lot for like sugar and flour. I vacuum seal almost everything. You can also buy pre-made bags like this. And basically, I believe these are quart size. They already come sealed on one end. You can put your product in there, seal the end, you're all good to go. So they come all different ways. One more thing I want to mention before I demonstrate some things. They have accessories. Like my Food Saver comes with this accessory, which is really cool. And what it is, it vacuum seals jars without canning or boiling. So I can put beans or peas or rice, any dry good, in a jar with a lid. And actually, you would just keep the lid off when you do it. And I'll demonstrate this. And this goes over the top. And there's a little attachment here. You'll attach to this. And it actually vacuum seals the jar, which whatever you put in there will increase the life of that food as well. So I'm going to break from this and go and start showing you some of the things. I'm working alone today. My camera crew is busy with babies. So anyways, I'm going to cut. I'm going to show you some of the things that the vacuum sealer can do. So just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to make a bag off of a roll to vacuum seal a box of rice. And basically all you're going to do is you take this end here and you want to seal it. So you just turn the vacuum sealer on. You slide this in straight. it's done, you'll hear a click, which means you can pull it out. And the lights go off and you pull it out. And as you can see, you now have a nice seal on the bottom. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put the rice in here. Actually, before I put the rice in the bag, I'll measure it because I forgot I do have the roll. So I'll just lay the product or whatever I'm vacuum sealing right on top of the bag. And I'm going to cut it a few inches up because you need about 3 to 4 inches on top for the vacuum sealer to catch the bag and seal it. So now what I did was I cut the bag and I put the box of rice in this bag. Now the rice that's in this box is not in another bag. It's actually just in a box. So one of the things, even when I do like beans and rice, I put these oxygen absorber packets. I put one of those just in there like that. And that helps keep any kind of moisture out of there. Now, one of the things when you're doing something like a box or you're doing crackers or something more fragile, the food saver I have has a what they call a pulse button on it, which enables me to vacuum seal any product as loose or tight as I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you up close a couple of the buttons that are on this particular vacuum sealer. Okay, so basically you have your on and off. You have a food button that has dry or moist. If you're packaging like the sugar, the flour, things like we're doing right now, you keep it on dry. The moist is going to be if you're going to vacuum seal meat for the freezer, steaks, hot dogs, pork, whatever. There's also a button there that when it vacuum seals meat, there's a little tray down below, right down here, where like juice or whatever will flow into, because it does suck it out of there. And that button will let you know that you need to pull it out and empty it. That's your manual stop and start, the seal button, when you use the pulse feature on here. Normal and gentle, like when I'm doing things like coffee, rice, big bags of rice or whatever, I'll just leave it on normal. But if I'm doing something like what we're doing today, I'll put it on the gentle cycle. It doesn't suck it out so hard. And then this is the button that really is convenient. The pulse, once I put it in, the machine will grab the bag, and then you can push this button back and forth, and I'll demonstrate it to suck out as much air as you want, and that way I won't crush the bag. Okay. The accessory button I'm going to demonstrate when we do vacuum seal a mason jar. Okay, so now I've turned the pulse button on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the bag in the vacuum sealer. It will grab it, but then it will stop, and I'll be able to manually vacuum seal this bag so I don't crush the actual box. All right, so now I grabbed it. As you can see, every time I push the button, it is taking more air out of the bag. And I'm not going to do it to where it's extremely tight, but enough so most of the air is out of that bag. And then I will basically, at that point, I'm going to hit the seal button. All right, so as you can see, it's sealed. Okay. I went a little tight with this, but it's still in nice shape. The rice is still in there. And that's going to increase the shelf life of this. Now, again, you don't have to cut the bag so high. I was trying to do it for demonstration purposes. You could put a couple bags or a couple boxes of rice in a bag. You do whatever you want. You can put as many items in a bag as you want, because being on a roll, you can make the bag as big as you want as well. Okay, so I went ahead and I filled up a pint jar full of dry split peas. I also, as you can see, put one of my little oxygen absorbers in there. So what you do is you take the lid only, not the ring, and you put the lid on top. And what I did is I bought this off of Amazon. It's an accessory that comes, well, it doesn't come with the food saver, but it's compatible with the food saver. And basically the lid that goes on top of the regular mouth jar is like this. It has a rubber gasket on the inside. And on top, has a little hole where you're going to connect it to the vacuum sealer. So all you do is you put this over the top like that, okay? And on this particular model, I have this hose that comes out of the vacuum sealer, and you put this part into the little hole on top. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hit the accessory button on your vacuum sealer, and it will vacuum seal the jar. Okay, then it will automatically stop. Now, wasn't that the most exciting 15 seconds you've ever spent in your life? Anyways, at this point, it's vacuum sealed. What you have to do first is you got to disconnect this hose, otherwise the lid won't come off. Okay, now when I pull this lid off, the rubber seal is fine. It just pops back in. That happens sometimes. This lid is actually on there tight now. And now you can go ahead and you can seal, put the ring on your jar. And now these split peas basically, according to legend, will have indefinite shelf life. These will last forever. So I've been using the vacuum sealer now since probably around, give or take 2005, 2004, somewhere around there. So I vacuum seal almost everything, okay? I can vacuum seal, if it's a package of candy bars, I'll vacuum seal it because it does really enhance the life of any product that you do. If you're doing any kind of prepping, you're doing anything long term, it's definitely an invaluable tool to have in your arsenal. It is a little bit of an investment. The bags are not the cheapest thing in the world. I'll be honest, I bought 6 rolls of bags, 3 rolls of the wider bags, and then 3 of the 11 by 8 by 11, I think they are. And it was like, it was about $26, but the rolls are 20 feet long. Anyways, this was just kind of a run through of a vacuum sealer. Different brands have different functions. I'll be the first to say, you know, $1 is a lot of money when you don't have $1. Been there. So I know it can be a lot of money if you don't have it. But if you can swing it and you can get one somehow, even a used one, it's a great investment. And I think you'll enjoy having it. Anyways, I appreciate you watching this videotape. And as always, I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe to the channel. And again, feel free to leave comments if you have questions. Most of my tutorials are pretty brief and pretty basic. There's other things they do. So if you do have questions, you know, feel free to hit me up with the questions. And thanks so much for watching.